It's been nearly 2 weeks since the official announcement of the games we dreamt of, Pokémon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and there's still weeks until we get more official news. However, today I'm going to delve into trademarks by the Pokémon Company of potential Mega Evolutions we could see. My name is Petey Winnall. Let's jump straight in. Right around the worldwide release of Pokémon X and Pokémon Y, there is a list that made its way onto several websites, with trademarks that the Pokémon Company had recently reissued for a lot of their Pokémon. Every Pokémon on this list, aside from Jynx, Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza, Minun, Plusle and Sceptile, have Mega Evolutions in Pokémon X and Pokémon Y, with Latias and Latias's Mega Evolution Stones not currently being released. They're probably saving it for an event to coincide with Pokémon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. When I first saw this list all the way back in October or September, I questioned the credibility of it. While I knew it was legitimate, while I knew it was official trademarks by the Pokémon Company, I was unsure whether it was just a coincidence, whether they were just renewing their trademarks just because they have to be renewed. But seeing Kyogre and Groudon receiving new forms on the box art of Pokémon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire honestly makes me question whether we could be seeing more Mega Evolutions in Pokémon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I'm a little surprised Swampert was left off this list. But Swampert does make its way onto another list of trademarks that Game Freak had reissued, along with Pokemon like Weavile and Pokemon like that. Seeing Kyogre and Groudon on the box art with new forms does make me think we will be seeing new Mega Evolutions in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. The only thing that strikes me is that the Hoenn games, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, were set before Pokemon X and Pokemon Y in the game's timeline. And Mega Evolutions, Mega Stones, were a recent discovery in Kalos, and it is Kalos exclusive. However, I think Game Freak could bend the timeline just a little bit to allow for Mega Evolutions to appear in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I don't see them leaving out such a main feature of Pokemon X and Pokemon Y from another 6th generation game. I do think Mega Evolutions are here to stay, but that's just my speculation. This list seems super credible to me. Even if Pokemon like Jynx appeared on this list, Jynx isn't really relevant to Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I don't even think it appeared in Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. But regardless, this list is really interesting. It's official. This is pretty big news, even though it leaked months ago. I just thought I'd bring it back up because it's pretty interesting. I hope you enjoyed seeing these few lists. Something I warned you guys in the first episode of my news and speculation videos was to question the credibility of supposed leaked information on anonymous websites such as 4chan and Reddit and stuff like that. Due to the anonymous nature of them websites, false information can be shared to thousands of people and people won't even know that it's fake. In this little screenshot from 4chan, I've got you information that's supposedly going to be in next month's issue of Corocoro about the release of Mega Sceptile, Mega Swampert to accompany Mega Blaziken, and new Awaken forms for Kyogre, Groudon and Rayquaza, and supposed question marks about Regirock, Regice, Registeel and Regigigas. I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm sorry. Yeah, while this information is actually kind of fun to read about, to think about, to speculate about, stuff like that, take this with a grain of salt. People would not be leaking information about Corocoro, especially in perfect English, because these are Japanese websites. But it's pretty interesting. These are all safe assumptions that these Pokemon are going to receive new Mega Evolutions and forms, especially because it's a Hoenn remake, it's a Hoenn game. And with the advent of Mega Evolutions and stuff like that in Pokemon X and Pokemon Y, we can expect new forms for these Pokemon. But this source right here, not official in the slightest. Do not believe a single word you're reading here. It is completely false and completely fake. Yeah, whatever. And finally today, I've got a pretty interesting false promotional picture that's been circulating the internet for a couple of days, showcasing a potential Mega Evolution for Ludicolo and potential dive battles in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. This picture is completely fake, but it's pretty interesting just to see what could be in these games, just to speculate and stuff like that. This does look quite legitimate, it does look quite real. It's pretty interesting just to look at, and I hope you enjoy that. I apologise in advance if these news and speculation videos for Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire start to slow down over the next 2 weeks. I want these videos to actually have some interesting substantial content for you guys, instead of showing images I found from 2 years ago that I know are false just for the proverbial views. You'll definitely be seeing these videos every other day however, and if you do really want to see these videos daily, then I will upload these daily. Just we'll see what I can find. As always, 250 likes would be super appreciated on this video, and maybe I will upload another news and speculation video for Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire tomorrow. And feel free to subscribe so you don't miss any of my news and speculation videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later for the start of my Team Aqua challenge. See you guys then. Peace out.